भाइयों बहनों, आप कल्पना नहीं कर सकते रेलवे हिंदुस्तान की कितनी बड़ी ताकत बन सकता है। आज का रेल का जो नेटवर्क है उसी को आधुनिक बनाया जाए तो हम हिंदुस्तान की विकास की यात्रा को एक नई गति दे सकते हैं।
It is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's dream for the country. A dream that the Indian Railways huffs and puffs to catch up with. Headlines Today travels to China to get a first look at Modi's dream train, up close. An exciting adventure from Shanghai to Beijing. A fantastic ride through the land of the dragon.
Hello, you're watching Headlines Today and with you is Anjana Om Kashyap. Shanghai it is. And we're in Shanghai to feel the sheer power of speed. Yes, the great Indian doors with the rail budget and the Modi Sarkar wait for the bullet train, but to feel that speed right here. Yes, to see India's future through the Chinese experience. We're in Shanghai, we're at the railway station and we're going to buy actually 2 tickets for me and my cameraman, and we'll be boarding the bullet from Shanghai to Beijing. The Chinese experience, but just to see how it can be for India in the coming year. So we're at the railway station and we're waiting inside to get the tickets, but till then I could roughly show you what this looks like. Yes, very interestingly, what we see at the airports in India, I'm seeing at the railway station. The kind of air hostesses you see there, ready to help people, the same kind of people here. So we're ready for the stunner, the bullet. Let's go. Crowded, this looks early in the morning. We're going to board this train and pretty crowded, at least by the look of the elevator. Let's see. The queue was really long, but I've managed my 2 tickets. Yes, these are my 2 tickets. I'm going to board the bullet from Shanghai to Beijing. But roughly to give you an image of the kind of look that this entire railway station has. This railway station, very crowded. And at least in one thing, you can say India and China match. It's absolutely the kind of crowd you have. But definitely, this looks like the best airports we have in India. The railway station clean, people standing in queues, heading for the security check. The security check that you can see. So we'll now be boarding and going ahead, and now we head for the security check. Yes, Shanghai to Beijing, the trip begins with the tickets in my hands, and now we head for the security check. And we've reached the platform and it's now my turn to get into the bullet train and feel the experience of 350 kilometers per hour. Yes, we're boarding and it's number 8. So now it's time to get into the bullet.
We are aboard the Shanghai-Beijing high-speed train. Back home, questions have been continuously chasing every government, every Prime Minister and the Railway Minister. The promises remain on paper from Lalu Prasad to Sadanand Gowda. The challenges remain the same. China has won its need for speed. For India, it remains a quest. Can India break the 200 km per hour barrier?
The pictures for you to see. Luxury, comfort, style and speed all together on the bullet. But let's compare with the Indian Railways. Actually, Indian Railways has become the picture of filth, dirt, train accidents, discomfort. So the comparison is for you to see. But the big thing is that we're on the train from Shanghai to Beijing, roughly 13 to 1400 kilometers, and we're going to cover it in a time span of about 4.5 hours, which means we're already reaching a speed of 300 kilometers per hour. And all this could be ours very soon.
Even as trains around the world fly at over 400 kilometers per hour, forcing airlines to slash their fares by over 50%, as it happened in the case of the Beijing-Shanghai route, Indian trains struggle at speeds under 200 kilometers per hour.
In the race to becoming a big economic superpower, China understood the value of speed very early. And that is why since decades, they've been working through these bullet trains. Makes traveling very easy, very fast, a key to actually the kind of prosperity that China is looking at. In India, a Shatabdi or a Rajdhani, the average speed is 85 to 100 kilometers per hour. But when people in China travel at the speed of 300 kilometers per hour, you can understand how traveling actually becomes an easy job. Traveling from Shanghai to Beijing for business purpose, a distance of 1300 to 1400 kilometers, but you can just finish it in 4.5 hours. That's how easy it is. And not just for these parts. 11,000 kilometers of railway track for the bullets all over China ensures that people can actually travel fast in different parts of China.
Back home, launched last week, the Delhi-Agra bullet train has just left the Shatabdi behind. The Delhi-Bhopal Shatabdi travels at the speed of 150 km per hour, while the Rajdhanis roll at the highest speeds of 140 km per hour. But can increased fares ensure better facilities for the Indian Railway passenger? Not just speed, the Chinese bullet trains would leave behind any Indian train. Be it luxury, comfort, food hygiene, the cleanliness, both inside the trains and at the railway stations.
We're next to the pantry and this is what it looks like. To just give you a rough picture, food plates, well packed, pre-cooked, are all being kept here in the pantry. And this is just before the train, the bullet actually takes off. These plates of food are actually going to be served to people. So it's all ready-made food, which is like the airports and the aeroplanes that we have in India. Pre-cooked food, so no cooking happens here, inside the bullet.
There's someone mopping floors at 15-minute intervals. And there's just no way to smoke inside the train.
Interestingly, the Chinese boast of the biggest bullet rail network, roughly 11,000 kilometers. But the Chinese do not like calling it the bullet. They say it's the high-speed railways, which is ours, and also because maybe the Japanese invented the bullet and they call it the bullet. So the Chinese try and call them the high-speed railway network. We're on the train, 300 kilometers per hour, but this is the place between two compartments. And I'm here just to give you a feel of how these gates, if you're aboard Indian Railways, then maybe in the slipper cars, you'll see people opening the gate, having their cigarette. But here, no chances. So security is one of the biggest concerns, and that is how it is done. In fact, even the connection between two compartments, you can see how it's properly done and very distinct from what happens in India. You see people actually sitting here at different places. So it gives an absolutely different picture. Now, in case you need water, here's the place to come, and here you can take water from this tap for yourself. This is drinking water. I want to give you a rough feel of this place between two compartments. There are fire extinguishers in case of any emergency. At every second step you find them. Then in case you want to throw something, these are all closed cables and you can put your thing into the dustbin. Very neatly done, very neatly organized so that the train remains absolutely clean. But now from here, we will move on to the next part because I want to give you a feel of what the toilets and the washrooms here look like. Interestingly, very small but clean. You can say it gives you a feel of the kind of washrooms we've seen in our aeroplanes. Here, the system that's in place, let's give you a picture of that. The vacuum suction flush systems are in place. The ones that you have on the aeroplanes and definitely not in Indian Railways. So with this, you can understand the kind of system that is in place. Roughly the other side, here, the soap wash, everything is in place. So you get a feel of actually coming to a neat and tidy place. Every 5 to 10 minutes, there's a woman who comes here to do the cleaning.
The Chinese need for speed is on full display as the maglev zips between the Shanghai airport and the city outskirts. At full speed, the magnetic levitation train takes 7 minutes and 20 seconds to complete the distance of 30 kilometers, once achieving a record speed of 501 kilometers per hour during a test run. For now, the maglev operates at speeds between 430 and 450 kilometers per hour. Can India hope to keep pace with Modi's dream for speed? With Anjana Kashyap in Shanghai, Bureau Report, Headlines Today. Headlines Today is in the land of the dragon. People who believe in preserving their culture, a land of magnetism, a nation that is hungry for power, for speed. Our bullet train hurtles towards Beijing. Only when you look out of the window do you see the landscape fly past and realize the speed the train has achieved. We decide to carry out an experiment.
Even as the train races at 300 kilometers per hour, immense speed. Let's do a little reality check on the kind of stability you have inside the bullet train. I have with me 2 batteries. Let's place them here on the floor and let's see how it goes. Here. I've placed both the batteries on the floor, and by the movement you can understand how stable it is inside the train. Now if I take one battery and I just maybe put it like this, how much of movement do we see in this battery? You can get an idea.
The pantry is fully stocked, but there's another food counter too. The bullet train is the perfect combination of speed with comfort.
I have my coffee and my fruits in my hand, but very interestingly, at the speed of 300 kilometers per hour, I had no problem in moving around here. There is no problem of holding on to the sides or the coffee just pouring over. Hi. So the coffee pouring over, all that is not a menace actually inside this train, in spite of the fact that we are moving at a speed of 300 kilometers per hour now. Even as I'm having these fruits, why not take one of these rounded? These are actually real tomatoes that I'm eating, little small tomatoes that I'm eating. Why not take one of these, put them here on this platform and see how stable the train is. 300 kilometers per hour. And with this rounded fruit, rounded object, which could easily go from one side to the other, you can make a rough guess of how stable the train is in spite of the speed that we've attained.
It's a journey that would take a regular Indian train at least 10 hours. But the bullet takes less than half the time, bringing us to our scheduled stop, Beijing, in under 5 hours.
The bullet train journey from Shanghai to Beijing is just over for me. But for India, the journey has just begun. With cameraman Mohsen Khan, Anjana Kashyap, Beijing for Headlines Today.